Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys hockey contest between the visiting Wildcats of Milton High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. You can see the Warriors getting ready to come out onto the ice, and you're going to see some skaters come out that are going to seem a little shorter than what you're used to. Don't worry, it's all part of the plan because tonight is Skate with a Warrior night. As coming out are not only some of the Brookline High School Warriors, but also some of members of the Brookline Youth Hockey Squirt Single A team, as the youngsters will get a chance to skate with the high schoolers here during pregame warm-ups. The Brookline Youth Squirt Single A team is coached by Dave Charbonneau and Patrick Feeney. And it's just a nice little thing that they get to do, a nice little gift they get to give to the youngsters. Get a chance to see what kind of atmosphere they might be skating around in one day once they reach the high school level. So a reminder, as always, to all those tuning in, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to either say it in the live chat or to send me an email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen. If you're not feeling comfortable using YouTube's live comment system. But we do have our first note in the live chat from one of our regulars, Marlene Lyons, saying, "Let's go Warriors, go Dylan Katz, let's have a winning night." Happy as always to see you tuning in, Marlene. Today's game is slated for a 6 p.m. opening puck drop. We're probably going to be a couple minutes behind in that sense, as we do have this special Skate with a Warrior night going here with the Brookline Warriors, but you certainly don't want to miss this one. This is a critical juncture for the Warriors. They are officially unable to get a 500 record this season. Their current record stands at 3-10-2. They've lost 7 straight. They've been outscored 22-4 in their last 4 games. They not only need to start winning, they need to start winning by a lot if they want to make a push for the playoffs. But at the very least, you know, just for the sake of the players' pride and the futures for some of these younger players, they want to get just some experience winning some games. It's been a really tough stretch for the Warriors since the end of the Junior Beanpot tournament back in mid-January. It's been a really tough stretch these past couple of weeks, and they're hoping to get back on track here against a Division II opponent. Coming out onto the ice now, the Milton High Wildcats. The Wildcats come in with a record of 4-6-3, 4 wins, 6 losses, 3 ties. They were ranked 14th in Division II in the power rankings that came out this morning. So let's take a look at the rosters for the two teams coming into today. As you can see, the pregame clock counting down from about 6.5 minutes in the bottom left corner of your screen. As we count down the pregame clock, let's take a look at the rosters. Going in order of jersey number for the visiting Wildcats. First off, we have a junior forward, number 2, Will Hunt. Next, a freshman forward, number 3, Ben Doak. A sophomore defenseman, number 4, Aiden Rowley. A junior defenseman, number 5, Harry Hinkle. A senior forward, number 6, Lee Haney. A senior forward, number 7, Reed Dexter. A senior forward, number 8, Matthew Resnick. A junior forward, number 9, Jack Prince. A junior defenseman, number 10, Owen O'Donohue. A sophomore forward, number 11, John Sullivan. A freshman forward, number 12, Will Mannix. A senior forward, number 13, Jack Ryan. A freshman defenseman, number 14, Devin Prince. A sophomore forward, number 15, Dan Sullivan. A freshman forward, number 16, Logan Jackson. A senior forward, number 17, Luke Naughton. A sophomore defenseman, number 18, Peter Buckley. A junior defenseman, number 19, Nick Antonowitz. A sophomore defenseman, number 20, Marcus Pukel. A senior defenseman, number 21, Sean Finn. A senior forward, number 22, Thomas Withington. A senior forward, number 23, Daniel Chamon. A senior defenseman, number 24, Cormac Burke. A junior forward, number 25, Colm Mulhall. A sophomore forward, number 26, Nate Kenny. A senior forward, number 27, Alec Carew. A senior goalie, number 30, Andrew McHugh. And a junior goalie, number 35, Ryan Ashburn. Head coach of the Milton High boys hockey team is Nick Bly. So that's the roster for the visiting Milton High Wildcats. Now we move over to our left. You can see the Little Warriors still out there, but giving some space for the high schoolers to warm up. So let's go through their names. Going in order of jersey number, once again, first off, we have a sophomore forward, number 2, Jack Herman. A freshman forward, number 3, Ricky Ace. A senior defenseman and captain, number 4, Noah Gurdon. A sophomore forward, number 6 or 24, Greg Aptekman. A junior forward, number 7, Connor Erdman. A senior forward, number 8, Tommy May. Our internet just got briefly disconnected, but it's back. Okay, I'm not sure where quite I lost you, so I'll backtrack a little bit. Senior forward, number 11, Seth Walpowitz. A senior forward and captain, number 12, Henry Ames. A junior forward and captain, number 13, Grady Ames. A freshman forward and defenseman, number 14, Preston Bayless. A sophomore forward, number 15, Aton Kate. A junior forward, number 16, Alex Lynn. A freshman defenseman, number 17, Jameson Young. A junior defenseman, number 18, Thomas O'Brien. A junior defenseman, number 19, Ryan Wilson. A sophomore forward, number 21, Owen Lacey. A junior defenseman, number 23, Dylan Katz. A junior goalie, number 30, Jack O'Connor. And then a sophomore goalie, either number 31 or number 1, Craig Haas. Head coach of the Brookline High boys hockey team is Anthony Sarno. So those are the rosters. Warriors versus Wildcats here at Walter Brown Arena. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Hockey.
38, racing back the other way, and scores! Fighting for it now, a pass through, and Visnicki somehow stopped by O'Connor. How on earth? Cat behind the boards and a shot, score! The man, the myth, the legend, the Hank Ames! Pass it back to Young. Young winds, fires, deflected, up in the air, knocks, and Connor Erdman ties it up!
All right, the pregame horn has sounded, and we will soon get our starting lineups, national anthem, and opening puck drop. We got another couple of notes in live chat from Boston Sports Central. Let's go Brookline clutch up. And from Craig Adair Haas III, here we go Warriors.
Good evening and welcome to Brookline for tonight's Bay State Conference matchup between the Bisbee-Phillips Wildcats and your Brookline Warriors. Participating student athletes, coaches, constants, and officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with each student athlete. Assume responsibilities for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. If you require assistance, please call upon an MIAA school or security official. Now, the starting lineup for the Bisbee Wildcats are coached by Skip Bly. On defense, number 4, Aiden Rowley.
First starter for Milton, number 4, Aiden Rowley. Second starter, number 24, Cormac Burke. Next up, I believe I see number 12, Will Mannix, number 7, Reed Dexter, and number 8, Matthew Resnick, and in net, number 35, Ryan Ashburn. And now, starting lineup for the Warriors.
Warriors will be accompanied tonight by the Brookline Sport Youth League hockey team. Let's give them a warm round of applause.
First round of applause for the youngsters, the Brookline Youth Hockey Squirt Single A team. First starter for Brookline, number 4, Noah Gurdon. Next up, number 19, Ryan Wilson. Number 6, Greg Aptekman. Number 10, Jace Gangadarin. Number 13, Grady Ames. And in goal, number 30, Jack O'Connor.
Our recognition is reserved for the leadership and sacrifice of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to stand. We thank you for your service. Now, if you direct your attention to the center ice of our nation's flag as we play our national anthem.
All right, we've gotten our starting lineups and our national anthem, and we are ready to go. Brookline starting with Jack O'Connor in net, opening with a defensive pairing of Noah Gurdon and Ryan Wilson, and a forward line of Grady Ames at center, flanked by Greg Aptekman on his left and Jace Gungodarin on his right. For Milton, they've got Aiden Rowley as one defenseman, Cormac Burke as the other defenseman, and their starting forwards, Will Mannix, Reed Dexter, and Matthew Resnick, with Ryan Ashburn between the pipes for the Wildcats. Oh. My mistake on one of them. It's not Will Mannix. It's number 17, Luke Naughton, and I believe that is the third winger out there. Here we go. Start of the first period between Brookline and Milton. The Wildcats failed to clear there. Aptekman picks it up, pass through, missed on the one-timer. Grady Ames slightly broken up by Luke Naughton, who tries to clear. And now it is taken, broken up from Resnick, but then Reed Dexter lifts it all the way down to the Brookline end, but that will go for icing. Some early pressure from the Warriors. Last game we saw of this Warriors team against Natick, Brookline did lose 4-1, but they showed a lot more aggression in the late stages of the second period and throughout the entirety of the third period after falling behind. If they can keep up that aggressive momentum, this might be the game where they finally get back in the win column. But we will see. It's wrapped around the back, taken by Gungodarin. Gungodarin pass, too much traffic. It was broken up by number 20, Marcus Pukel. In the corner now, Milton working on the clear. It is cleared out to the neutral zone by number 5, Harry Hinkle. Chased down by Noah Gurdon. Gurdon sends it off the boards, gets up to Gungodarin. Gungodarin, nice pass through to Grady Ames, who passed it to himself off the boards. Ames rushing in, shot deflected off the side by the defenseman, number 19, Nick Antonowitz. Ames lost control of it briefly there in the skates, and it's taken back. Milton rushing the other way. Hinkle breaking through, shoots, saved by Jack O'Connor. It was a nice breakaway by Harry Hinkle, but a better stop by Jack O'Connor keeps us scoreless. Long pass up from Henry Ames to Connor Erdman. Erdman dumps one into the Milton end. Nice attack zone steal by Henry Ames. Tried to get a pass through to Max Guo, but it was broken up. And now it is cleared out. Number 25, Cole Mulhall was skating with it, and now the puck is kind of missing. The presumption is that it went over the Milton bench. They were trying to see if it was wedged in Dylan Katz's jersey somewhere. I don't know. We're gonna have to file a missing pucks case. Call it a Bauer alert. Off the face-off, Wilson slides it across to Gurdon. Gurdon skating through the neutral zone, gets tangled up, and does manage to bring it into the attack end off a deflection, almost taken by Max Guo, but instead the other way. It's a 4-on-1 rush. Going the other way. Shot is saved by O'Connor. A laser of a shot from Aiden Rowley, but could not get past Jack O'Connor. Good patience by the Brookline defense, not giving them any gimmies. Brookline again showing aggression, and it's pushed the other way. Chasing down the puck is Wilson, sends it off the boards, mistimed with Gurdon, but it is controlled by Grady Ames. Pass over to Gurdon. Gurdon's pass misses wide, taken by Rowley, dumped into the Brookline end. Wilson takes it off the backboard. Pass goes up to Gungodarin, but he lost control of it. He's trying to force it out to the neutral zone, but cannot. It deflects off the boards into open ice where it's taken by Gurdon. Gurdon lifts a high pass, knocked down by the hand, but I think they're saying it was knocked down illegally. I think that was Naughton who was knocking that one down. And because of the illegal hand touch, it's going to be a face-off in the Milton end. No score here through the first 3 minutes of play. Face-off tangled up, still tangled up. Puck finally sent out to the boards. Aptekman passes back, long insert, redirected, almost in, but just barely turned aside by Ashburn. The clear is blocked by O'Brien. Dexter trying to clear it again. It's a scrum up against the boards. Puck comes out loose. O'Brien pushes it forward. Gingodarin couldn't fight through the multiple defenders. And instead it's pushed up to Dexter, who tries to clear. Stopped again by O'Brien. Pushes it towards the net, but it's turned aside easily by Ashburn. Another attempted clear block. Hinkle still pushing for it. Does get it. Pinned to the corner, but gets a pass away. Finds his teammate coming around the back. A pass back. Number 10 shot. Redirected high off the shot from Owen O'Donoghue. Battling for it. It's recovered by Grady Ames. Lifted up, knocked down by Gingodarin into the neutral zone. But Brookline in the midst of a line change. It's pushed back into the Brookline end, but taken by O'Brien. Across to Katz. Long pass up just out of reach for Erdman. Stolen away. Guo tripped up. And that's going to be a delayed penalty. Brookline pulling the goalie to go 6-on-5 during the delayed penalty. Henry Ames trying to keep it across the boards. Pass goes back. It is received. Long pass is blocked, but Grady Ames recovers it in the neutral zone. Slides it across for Noah Gurdon. Gurdon tries to break through, but it is touched by number 25, Cole Mulhall. And that will trigger the penalty on Milton. This will be going against number 19, Nick Antonowitz. Honestly, kind of a smart penalty, as Max Guo was going to have a wide open chance at the net. And so it'll be a 2-minute minor for tripping. Face off, scrummed for, and the clear gets past Gurdon deep into the Brookline end. Chasing it down, Henry Ames fends off the forecheck attempt by Dan Sullivan. Long pass out of reach for Grady Ames, sent back the other way by Rowley. Henry Ames takes it again, pursued once again by Dan Sullivan. Passes along the back to Gurdon. Gurdon skating through the neutral zone, carrying it across the blue line himself, still approaching. Pass was blocked by number 24, Cormac Burke. And Burke manages to get it out to the neutral zone. Erdman now recovers it. Erdman approaching, long shot blocked by Ashburn. And another clear successful. This one by Rowley. O'Connor leaves it for Dylan Katz, who lost control of it. Lost in his skates, but after taking a hard check, he recovers the puck. John Sullivan applying the forward pressure on Katz. Leaves it to the back for Gurdon. Gurdon almost lost it, but manages to evade the pressure. A pass deflected and taken away by the Wildcats, lifted all the way down to O'Connor, who's going to have to just catch it and hold it. 42 seconds left on the penalty, and we're going to have a face-off in the Brookline end. Strong forward pressure there from number 11, John Sullivan, and number 27, Alec Carew. Off the face-off, it is knocked back to Katz. Katz pass to O'Brien, slides it back to Katz. Katz starts skating with it, long pass deflected, but off the boards, taken by O'Brien. O'Brien dumps it into the Milton end, chased down by Naughton. Naughton skating around and clears it easily. O'Connor parks it, pass up for Aptekman, a little risky, sends it off the boards into the neutral zone. Long insert is blocked down by Katz. That insert coming from Pukul. Now Aptekman slides it across for O'Brien, gains the blue line. O'Brien pass it back to Gingodarin. Gingodarin fires, misses wide as the penalty ends. And it's lifted out by Antonowitz, fresh out of the box. Katz Pass up. Erdman, nowhere to go with it. It's taken by Pukul. And Pukul approaching off the ricochet pass, broken up by Katz and covered up by O'Connor. So not the greatest power play sequence for Brookline. Very few offensive chances and no scores. Off the face-off rally, shot blocked. And he recovers the puck and passes it off the boards. Sent back for number 9, Jack Prince. Prince's pass caught up in the ref's skates, and Jamison Young takes it. Connor Erdman lifts it forward, racing after it. Henry Ames prevents the icing, but it is taken around the back by Burke. Burke's pass misses and is taken by Gurdon. Gurdon sends it off the boards to the neutral zone, where it's going to be taken by Rowley. Rowley pushes it forward, finds Prince. Prince keeps the puck. Pass blocked, up in the air. Erdman takes it and gets it across the blue line. Withstands a hard check as Guo chases after it. Tangled up against the boards. It is taken by the Wildcats. Pass goes back to Rowley. Rowley off the boards. Blocked at the blue line by Young and dumped back into the Milton end. It is taken by Burke. Burke, long pass. Disrupted by a teammate as Daniel Chamon sends it back to Burke, who gets it across the blue line to Chamon. Now stolen away. Gungadarin rushing it the other way. Lifts it into the Milton end. Chased down by Pukul, but intercepted. Grady Ames pass. Shot is in! Jace Gungadarin! Beautiful combination. And Brookline is first on the board. Let's check out this replay. You can see Pukul trying to slide it across the boards, but Grady Ames there waiting for it. Just sends a quick pass through, and great off-puck movement by Gungadarin after applying the pressure to Pukul along the back. Came around quickly in front of the crease, where he was there to receive the assist from Grady Ames. So Jace Gungadarin assisted by Grady Ames. So that'll make it a 1-0 Brookline lead here in the first period. As that pass is blocked, and now it's taken by Greg Aptekman. He lifts it way high, but a deflection off the defenseman prevents an icing call as Brookline commits to a full change. Milton trying to move, but the pass a little too far, and it's going to be chased down by Katz. Katz pinned to the boards by Carew, but the puck taken back by Brookline. Guo's pass to Henry Ames to Erdman. Erdman couldn't get around Antonowitz. The attempted clear blocked, but recovered by Hinkle. Hinkle off the boards, gets up to Carew, who tries to touch for Hinkle, but it's intercepted. Taken away, and the pass from Erdman intercepted by Carew. Pass, shot, saved by O'Connor. Off the shot from John Sullivan. Deflecting through the neutral zone, it's recovered by Gurdon. Gurdon skating through, gains the blue line himself. Gurdon approaching, no one there to help him. His shot almost snuck through, but just slides along the crease wide of the net. Naughton skating it the other way, he gains the blue. Fights down to the backboards, pass through, but disrupted from behind by Wilson as he was trying to get that one to Dexter. Erdman takes it along the boards, pinned to the boards by Dexter. Gurdon collides with Naughton, and Gurdon wins the puck. Passes it along the back, though, and it's intercepted by Dexter. Dexter coming around the back. Puck's knocked loose, but recovered by Resnick. Resnick's shot goes wide. Off the boards, Erdman pushes it around, but it's taken back by Naughton. Naughton passes it back to Rowley. Rowley slides it across to Antonowitz. Antonowitz sends it around. Gurdon sends it back around the other way. Recovered by Erdman. Erdman takes off through the neutral zone. Erdman gains the blue. Erdman, shot saved by Ashburn. No score there, but some good transition play from Connor Erdman. bringing some speed to make up for some momentary lapses of control and being able to take it coast to coast. If you have players that can take it coast to coast, then that is just everything in this sport. It's all about possession time, all about time spent in your opponent's end instead of your own. And that relies heavily on players that can make those transition plays through the neutral area. Off the face-off, it is recovered by Milton, number 15, Dan Sullivan. Pinned to the boards by Katz. Up against the boards, it is recovered briefly by Herman, but his pass is blocked, but then O'Brien comes out with it. O'Brien sends it to the neutral zone where it's going to be taken by number 24, Burke. Intercepted by Brookline, sent back into the Milton end, and I think oh no, that was a signal for offsides, not a penalty. Burke skating with it. Lifts it into the Brookline end. Cut off by Katz, but Prince comes around the back to take the puck. Prince skating around, back to the point. Taps it back, long insert, knocked down. Chaos around the net. And they are going to call a penalty against Dylan Katz on this play. A lot of scrumming around the crease for that puck after the insert from number 18, Peter Buckley. And in that scrum, Dylan Katz commits the penalty. And so now Milton going on the power play. Katz will serve a 2-minute minor here with 3:31 left in the first period. Off the face-off. It's controlled by Milton. Pass down to the back to Prince. Prince looking around, back to the point. Hinkle, shot, save, O'Connor. Rebound, save, O'Connor. Prince almost snuck it in on the backhand, but couldn't. And his other shot is stopped by O'Connor. And now it's cleared out by Guo. 3 great stops by Jack O'Connor on that sequence. And now quick passing, Prince lost control of the puck, and it's cleared out by Brookline as they reset. John Sullivan skating with it, leaves it back for Hinkle. Hinkle dumps it into the Brookline end. Chasing after it is Dexter. Pass back, a shot saved by O'Connor. Rebound could not be pushed in. It went wide, and Naughton couldn't knock it out of the air. Henry Ames lifts it out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Hinkle. Hinkle's pass misses Naughton. Taken by Gurdon, lifted way down to the Milton end as both teams commit to a line change. Grady Ames applying the forward pressure on Hinkle. Hinkle does manage to get a pass away to Carew. Carew over to Naughton. Naughton over to Resnick. Resnick charging in. Puck's knocked loose, but Resnick recovers now. Takes a hard shot in the boards. Recovered by Carew. Carew skating around, pass just deflected. Barely recovered by Naughton. Passing goes back. Shot from the point. Deflects wide of the net. That shot from Pukul. Resnick back to Pukul again. Pukul back to Resnick. Resnick pass. A player lost his glove. That was Young, as now Brookline clears it out. Absolute chaos on this power play. Pukul pass up to Carew. Carew slides it across. Finds his man. That's Dan Sullivan. Sullivan's shot saved by O'Connor, and the rebound just barely cleared out by Young as O'Brien chased it down. Takes it the other way. We are back at even strength. Oh, but there was a dangerous play there as Brookline was making a line change with Katz. Just after he came out of the penalty box, he was swapping with Connor Erdman, it looks like. And that might result... Is that going to result in a penalty? No, it's not. It was just, they called interference with the door, not too many skaters. So off the center ice face-off, Brookline pushes it into the Milton end, but Burke clears it out. Off the boards, it's knocked right back by Brookline into the Milton end. Burke controls it. Burke manages to pass away, but it's intercepted by Katz. Katz whiffed on the shot there, but still scrumming for it along the boards. Gets it up to Henry Ames. Ames looking around, pass back, Erdman long, shot wide. Chase down, sent off the boards. And out to the neutral zone, Dan Sullivan charging in, shot deflected. up into the netting, defended by Thomas O'Brien. Got a couple more notes in the live chat that I hadn't noticed before from Barbara E. Picorni, go Brookline, cheering from Connecticut, and from Allie Sternberg, let's go Brookline, LFG Dylan Katz cheering from Chicago. So we got a few different locations represented here in our fan base today. 45 seconds left here in the first. Off the faceoff, it's pushed back. Buckley sends it down the line. Taken by Carew in the corner. Scrumming for it. Carew has it but loses it. Tried to pass back to Buckley, but it's knocked away by Gangadarin. Aptekman trying to fight for it. So is Gangadarin, but it's won by Pukul. And a hard check by Hinkle as he pushes it out to the neutral zone. It's knocked back to the Brookline end where it's taken by Gurdon. Gurdon slides it around, absorbs the hit as it's touched through the neutral zone, taken by Grady Ames. Ames long shot blocked by Ashburn. Ames tried to get another shot, and it's deflected up into the netting. Just 4.4 seconds left in the period. Brookline might have time for a final shot if they can control this upcoming face-off in the Milton end. They're setting up Connor Erdman right behind Grady Ames. Erdman's shot is saved by the glove of Ashburn. 1.7 seconds now on the clock. So Brookline might have time for one more shot. They set up Erdman behind Ames once again. The official talking to some of the skaters around the circle as Milton packs to block it, but unnecessary as Brookline couldn't get another shot off before the clock expires. We're at the end of one here at Walter Brown Arena. Brookline 1, Milton 0. The lone goal coming off of this score by Jace Gangadarin, assisted by Grady Ames. Well, I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back with the second period. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second period of tonight's high school varsity boys hockey contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Milton High Wildcats. Brookline sporting a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period off a goal scored by Jace Gungodarin, assisted by Grady Ames. Fun fact, Grady Ames has registered at least 1 point in all but one of the games that I have covered this season for the Brookline High boys hockey team. The only game where he didn't register a point was in the 5-1 loss to Braintree. And since that game was played at Ryan Arena in Watertown, I can confidently say that Grady Ames has registered at least 1 point in every game of his that I have covered here at Walter Brown Arena. And of course, Jace Gungodarin, nice to see him score. That's actually the first goal of his that I've seen personally. First goal I've managed to cover, and I'm happy to see that. Hopefully, I'll get to see more as his high school career continues. So here we go. The two teams have switched sides here for the second period. Second period is underway. Off the faceoff, Noah Gurdon tried to skate it into the attack zone himself, didn't work. And now he takes it around the blue line. Approaches shot is deflected high and over the net. Sent around, kicked back to Burke. Burke sends it around to Rowley. Rowley's pass for Dexter broken up. And scrumming along the boards, and Greg Aptekman launches one wide. Recovered by Gungodarin, pass to Grady Ames. Ames lost it to a poke check from Dexter. Gungodarin recovers, pass through, almost redirected in, but just wide. Along the boards, it's controlled by Dexter. Dexter whips one off the boards, blocked by Gurdon. Battling for it up against the boards. Puck squirts out, knocked back. Rowley lost it, but it's recovered by Burke. Burke lifts it out, and it goes off the stick of Ryan Wilson and over the Brookline bench. So that'll be a neutral zone faceoff. Off the face-off, it is taken by O'Brien, across to Katz and up to Henry Ames. Touch pass intercepted by Harry Hinkle, sent down to the Brookline end where it's taken around the back by Katz. Katz lost it in the scrum. It's taken by Carew. Pass just out of reach for Hinkle, and instead recovered by Buckley. O'Brien knocks it away. Scrum along the boards. John Sullivan trying to fight through, but it's taken away by O'Brien. O'Brien lifts it off the glass into the neutral zone. Battling along the boards for it. It does go into the Milton end where it's taken by Buckley. Buckley trying to skate through, lost it. Erdman tried to push it forward. Ricocheted away. Henry Ames sends a pass through, blocked by Buckley. Knocked through. Erdman's shot was blocked aside by Hinkle. Attempted clear, stopped by Henry Ames. Ricochets over to Harry Hinkle. Attempted clear, blocked at the blue line by Dylan Katz. Still scrumming along the board, sent back to the neutral zone. Now taken back by Katz and slides it all the way down to the Milton end. Taken around the back by Pukel. Pursued by Erdman. Grady Ames swoops in and takes the puck. Ames, pass, Knocked down. Gungadarin lost his footing and whiffed on the shot. Pass goes up to Dan Sullivan. Sullivan races past the defense into the corner. Pass deflected aside by Gurdon. Recovered, shot blocked by Grady Ames. Sent off the boards out to the neutral zone. Taken by Antoniewicz. Tried to lift one through, knocked down, and taken by Gurdon. Gurdon gains the blue line himself. Nifty moves. Shot deflected away. Almost knocked in by Gungadarin on the opportunity there. Now Gurdon swoops in and takes it out of the scrum. Whiffs on a pass. Tries to send one through. It's blocked aside. And now they rush it the other way. Number 25, Mulhall, gets it across the blue line but loses it after getting pinned to the boards. Gurdon lifts it up, misses Aptekman, but gets it out to the neutral zone. Antoniewicz launches it into the Brookline end as Milton commits to a defensive line change. Gurdon tried to send it off the boards out of a bit of a scrum. Grady Ames pushes it all the way down to the Milton end, and that'll go for icing. Off the face-off, Brookline almost had it, but it's taken back. Shot saved by O'Connor, and the rebound just out of reach for Daniel Chamon. Long insert goes off the glass, and it's taken by Katz. Knocked away from Katz. Along the boards, Herman absorbs the hit, manages to get the puck to O'Brien, who slides it around to Eitan Kate. But in the neutral zone, it's taken back by Rowley. Long pass intercepted by O'Brien. Sends it up to Kate. Kate trying to battle through the neutral zone, but it's taken away by Rowley. Pushed back by O'Brien and taken by Burke. Burke's pass blocked, but he recovers it himself. Blocked again, and now taken by Kate. Tried to slide it up, but it's blocked back off the ricochet. Burke gains the blue line. Shot saved by O'Connor. So we'll have a face-off in the Brookline end. Jack O'Connor having a nice day in net so far. Off the face-off. Brookline trying to push through, but cannot. In the neutral zone, they scrum for it. Erdman pushes it into the Milton end, but it's taken back, sent off the boards. Naughton couldn't quite corral it. Resnick gets it up to Dexter. Dexter approaching shot, saved by O'Connor. Henry Ames corrals it. Slows things down. Pass misses Young. Taken by Resnick. Sent up the line. Henry Ames sends it back to Young. His attempt to clear ricochets off escape, but Erdman lifts it out to the neutral zone. The attempted push from Owen O'Donoghue was deflected high in the air. Young pushed it back to the neutral zone, taken by Pukal. Pukal approaching, lost the puck. Dexter recovers, wraps it around the boards. Pukal takes it around the back. Looking, sends it through. Naughton couldn't get a pass to Resnick. Resnick was tangled up with the defense. Dexter approaching, shot saved by O'Connor. Dexter recovers zone rebound, approaching again, lost his footing. Resnick takes a hard shot from Gurdon, and Gurdon passes it up to Erdman. Erdman trying to race after it, pushes it into the Milton end, but it's taken by Rowley. Rowley skating through to the neutral zone as Brookline commits to a line change. Rowley gets tangled up, lost side of the puck, but gets it back. Shot saved by O'Connor. Puck still live after that crazy play as Naughton recovers, passes back to Burke. Burke, long insert, knocked down, knocked just wide on the redirect by Rowley. Attempted clear, taken by Hinkle, long insert, knocked down and wide. Rowley chases down the rebound, shot saved by O'Connor. Naughton sends it down, blocked by Katz. Katz battling for it, lost the puck, and Erdman lifts it out to the neutral zone where it's taken again by Burke. Burke pushes it back into the Brookline end, attempted clear, blocked and stopped by Carew. Carew Despite losing his footing, gets the puck back. Pass back to Burke. Kind of whiffed on the insert, but it gets down to Carew. Carew along the back to Hinkle. Hinkle trying to sneak around the back, but lost control. Recovered, shot, turned aside by O'Connor. John Sullivan tries again off the post. I think he went off the post twice there, actually. Now Connor Erdman skating the other way. Erdman gains the blue line. Pushed it a little too far, but passed it along the back. Grady Ames tried to jam a pass through, but could not. The attempted clear is sent through to the neutral zone. John Sullivan 1-on-2, weaves around, shot saved by O'Connor. Jack O'Connor with a number of nice saves during that sequence. Boy, that point-blank save after the nice juke by, I believe it was Aiden Rowley. And still a 1-0 lead for Brookline as they try and figure out which substitutions they're allowed to make and which ones they aren't. Off the face-off, O'Brien sends it around. Aptekman takes it, lifts it high, out to the neutral zone, taken again by Burke and launched right back in, scooped up by O'Connor, and he's just going to hold it. We're about midway through the second period, 7:41 on the clock. Still a 1-0 lead for Brookline. No score as of yet in the second period. Off the face-off, Wilson skating with it, sends it off the boards, stopped at the blue line by Rowley. Fighting through, it's knocked back out to the neutral zone. Chased back down by Rowley. Off the boards, gets it up to Dan Sullivan. Gives it to Prince. Prince approaching, charging in. His shot wide, disrupted by Wilson. Scrumming along the boards, Gurdon. Passes it. Walpowitz tries to send it off the boards, but it's intercepted by Prince. Pushed back to the back end. Ryan Wilson sends it around. Walpowitz disrupted by Dan Sullivan. Recovered by Burke. Long shot high, and a jumping catch made by O'Connor to stop that sequence. While that save does, or while that catch by O'Connor does result in another defensive end faceoff for Brookline, it also allows them to make a much-needed line change. Off the face-off, Wilson battling, coming out the back. The Wildcats looking around, pinned to the boards. Guo takes it away and passes it across. Finds a man as the defender had slipped and fallen, but the pass misses, and it's going to go for icing as Henry Ames was trying to go for a high pass to Connor Erdman, hoping he could at least deflect it with his stick. And it would be a legal play, but unfortunately missed it. They swap Henry Ames into the face-off, and Ames wins the face-off as Wilson tries to wrap it around off the deflection. Ames pins it to the boards. Backhand pass misses, but does get out to the neutral zone. Milton pushes it back into the Brookline end. Wilson chases it down again. Wilson pass off the boards. Out to the neutral zone again. Pukal launches it right back in. Dangerously deflects through to the crease. And just barely deflected away by the Brookline defense. That was almost dangerous. Off the scrum, the puck recovered by Henry Ames the other way. Out to the neutral zone, and we've got an offsides call as Naughton was across the blue line when it was lifted back in by, I believe, O'Donoghue. So it'll be a neutral zone face-off with just under 6 minutes left in the second period. Brookline still leads 1-0. Face-off won by Brookline. Katz slides it over to O'Brien. Off the boards. Rowley disrupted by Aptekman as it's pushed into the Milton end. They scrum along the boards for the puck. Rowley comes out with it. Rowley sends it through the neutral zone down to the Brookline end. O'Brien going to get there first, send it off the boards. Does slide out to the neutral zone into open ice. Gengadarin and Naughton battling for it. Gengadarin pushes it down to the Milton end. Recovered by Rowley. Pass up to Naughton. Naughton sees an open man. Dexter chases it down in the corner. Pass back. Resnick's shot saved by O'Connor. There's been no short of physicality between these two teams in this contest between local opponents, as Dexter took a hard shot into the boards after sending that pass back to Resnick. Face-off taken by Pukul. Shot blocked by Erdman. Connor Erdman chased down the puck. Connor Erdman charging in. Shot stopped by Ashburn. Pukul stayed with him on defense. Hinkle trying to clear. O'Brien not letting him. Along the boards, O'Brien blocks the clear again. Guo managed to touch a pass out to Henry Ames. Ames shot saved by Ashburn. Rebound could not be recovered. Pukul sends it around the boards, and now an attempt to clear stopped by Henry Ames. Sent back to the corner. Pukul whips it around to Buckley. Buckley with some space sends a long one down, misses the net, and that will be an icing. .432, Connor Erdman, after blocking the initial shot by Pukul with his skate, had a breakaway chance, but Pukul, credit to him for never giving up on the play and making it just hard enough for Erdman to get a clean shot off. Players struggling to get on the puck. Long shot from Jamison Young goes high and wide. Along the boards, the attempt to clear blocked by Gurdon. Sends it forward. Eitan Kate sends a pass through, intercepted by Burke. Burke rushing it the other way. Burke gains the blue. Skating around the back. Couldn't jam one in. Takes a shot into the boards. And now it's recovered. A shot blocked. The shot from Prince blocked by Gurdon, and it flies up into the netting. Four minutes even left here in the second. And we've got a whistle stoppage. Off the face-off. Young around the boards. Aptekman. And scrumming against the boards again. Sent back. Pukel's shot blocked. Another breakaway chance. Grady Ames this time. Charging in. Shot score! Grady Ames! The junior captain would not be denied on that breakaway chance. As we look back at the replay, a nice block with the stick and the body, and then Ames just took off like a shot out of a cannon, faked the initial wrister, and got Ashburn to hesitate ever so slightly as he was able to drag the puck around to the right side and just push it in after getting around the goalie, having caused him to hesitate with that initial fake. Noah Gurdon skating with authority here in transition. Brings it all the way coast to coast. Attempted clear blocked. Long shot wide of the net from Young. And now racing it the other way. A pass just barely misses Lee Haney. And now, as the PA announcer confirms, the goal by Grady Ames, unassisted, as that came off a defensive takeaway. But Grady Ames now with 1 goal and 1 assist, as that's going to be a dead puck as it went off the ceiling. Brookline with a 2-0 lead. Late here in the second period with 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock in the second period. Off the face-off, it is wrapped around the boards. Attempted insert by Pukal, intercepted, being taken the other way. Dylan Katz sends a pass just a little far for Aptekman. As they stay with the puck, it's blocked. A shot is blocked wide. Off the boards, taken by Pukal. Lifted out to the neutral zone, scrumming for it. In comes Resnick, trying to charge through. Shot is in! Matthew Resnick just barely managed to fit his stick through there for a shot, and he sent it high right side corner. And just like that, we're back to a 1-score game. Quick response from the Wildcats by number 8, Matthew Resnick. Out of the face-off, it is taken by Burke. Burke pushes it down, and it's going to be covered up by O'Connor. And see, this right here is why no lead is safe in hockey. Because a goal really can happen just that fast. So even if you're up multiple scores, you're not safe. You have to keep playing as if it's still anyone's game. Rowley's shot kind of whiffed on the one-timer there. Rebound chased down by Hinkle. Pass back and forth. Hinkle approaching. Shot save. O'Connor rebound chance just barely blocked by the defense. John Sullivan had a golden chance there, but just blocked at the last second. Gurdon out to the neutral zone. John Sullivan whips it back into the Brookline end. Hinkle deflects it over to Carew. John Sullivan tried to get a stick on it. Disrupted at the defense at every turn. Connor Erdman sends it up to Henry Ames, who lifts it all the way down to the backboards, taken along the back by Rowley. Carew now controls it, passes it back to Burke. Burke skating out from the back, pass gets through the defense and up to Sullivan. John Sullivan stopped by Noah Gurdon, but keeps the puck, tries to whip it forward, but deflected. And now the free puck taken by Gurdon, pass up to Erdman. Erdman takes a really hard shot, and that's going to be a penalty on Milton as they took Erdman's foot out from under him. So they're going to call the trip. Just a sidewinding collision that took Erdman out at the knees. Almost sent him spinning like a helicopter there. And so Owen O'Donoghue will be serving the 2-minute minor. That's going to be segmented between the second and third period unless Brookline scores. Henry Ames, pass intercepted. Prince taking it the other way on the shorthand. Defended by Katz. Henry Ames comes in to reinforce, and Katz takes the puck. Katz gets the pass away to Henry Ames. Ames lifts one up to Erdman. Erdman gains the blue line, but they call offsides. It is strange not seeing Noah Gurdon on the first power play line, but it appears they've shifted him to the second power play line. 41.3 seconds left in the period. And they swap Dexter into the face-off. Off the face-off, it's controlled by Milton and quickly launched down to the Brookline end. O'Connor leaves it for Gurdon. Gurdon pass it up to Aptekman. Aptekman's pass is blocked, but chased down by Gungadarin, who gains the blue, but lost the puck, taken away, and now skating the other way is Hinkle. Hinkle sends it deep down to the Brookline end as the last 10 seconds are ticking away here in the second period. Pass goes up to Gurdon. Gurdon trying to take off with speed, and an offside's called as the players got tangled up around the blue line, and that will end the second period after we have this last face-off with 0.4 seconds left on the clock. And there is the horn to make it official. At the end of the second period, the score, the Brookline Warriors 2, the Milton Wildcats 1. An exciting last couple of minutes in the second period. Brookline took a 2-0 lead off of this breakaway goal by Grady Ames. But then Milton was able to answer back with a goal shortly afterwards by Matthew Resnick. And that is where we stand, a 1-goal game here at the second intermission. And at this time, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to some helpful links in the description section down below. First, you can find a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club. If you would like to support this Brookline High boys hockey program financially, you can send some money there through Venmo. Also, you can find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, thanks to the generosity of over 140 donors, BCF has raised over $1.4 million in scholarship funding as they approach their 10-year anniversary. And last year, in 2023, they awarded over $180,000 to Brookline High School for scholarships. Your help is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And remember, as always, you can find all that information in the description section down below. But for now, one period left to go in this one. Brookline 2, Milton 1. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back with the third and final period. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the third and final period of regulation for this high school varsity boys hockey contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Milton High Wildcats. Right now, Brookline sporting a 2-1 lead after the two teams essentially played even in the second period, each one scoring a goal. For Brookline, it was Grady Ames, and for Milton, it was Matthew Resnick. This, of course, after the goal scored by Jace Gungodarin, assisted by Grady Ames in the first period, gave Brookline a then 1-0 lead. So definitely still anybody's game. Brookline trying to snap a 7-game losing streak and start getting some wins in the win column to help their playoff odds, which have been slipping further and further away the past couple of weeks. Milton already firmly in the playoff picture in Division II, currently ranked 14th, but trying to improve their standing within the playoff hunt. And also get a little closer to a 500 record. A fresh 15 minutes on the clock one last time. As we get set for the third and final period of play. This period will begin with a 54-second power play for the Warriors as the 2-minute minor called on Milton's number 10, Owen O'Donohue, bleeds over into this period. Always makes for a bit of an awkward sequence for the team that's on the power play to come out for a new period and be forced to take the face-off from center ice instead of the attack end. Here we go, off the face-off. It is controlled by Henry Ames. Ames backhands it over to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon takes off through the neutral zone, gains the blue himself, skates down to the corner and comes around the back to get the play set. Pass it back to Grady Ames, sends one through, one-timer whiffed on by Henry Ames. Battling along the boards, Ames keeps it. Pass it back to Gurdon. Gurdon slides it across, kicked, stopped by Grady Ames. Tried to send one through the crease, but Guo couldn't get his stick on it. Gurdon sends one through, misses Grady Ames. Ames lost the puck. It's sent all the way back to the Brookline end, where it's chased down by Henry Ames. Pass misses Noah Gurdon. I think that's going to go for icing. So a couple of passes just barely missed by the Warriors. And their power play is going to end in their on their own side of the ice as there's just 4 seconds left on the penalty. They got some really close chances there. A whiffed one-timer by Henry Ames. A pass that had to be kick-stopped by Grady Ames. A pass through the crease that Guo couldn't get his stick on. Some golden opportunities, but Brookline could not capitalize. We are back in even strength. Aiden Rowley gets it up to Carew, pass back, a point-blank shot popped up in the air. Nice save by O'Connor. Saves a potential goal, and they're rushing the other way. Grady Ames trying to fight through, got tangled up with the defense of Pukul. Skating the other way is Harry Hinkle. Cut off by Dylan Katz, but he does chase down in the corner. Takes a hard shot from Katz. It's recovered by Alec Carew, but he gets pinned to the boards as Brookline works on the clear. Greg Aptekman pass, finds Katz. Katz skating up with it, gains the blue himself. It slides down to the corner where it's taken by Resnick, slid across to Pukul. Poked loose by Connor Erdman. Henry Ames whiffs on the shot there. They're still scrumming for it. Connor Erdman corrals it, pass redirected and taken off the boards by the Wildcats. And that pass slides through a couple of defenders, gets up to Carew, but then it's knocked away by Ryan Wilson. Pukul lifts it back into the Brookline end, and that's going to be an icing call. Face off, they're tangled up. It's knocked into open ice where it's taken by Luke Naughton. Naughton dumps it into the Brookline end and chases it down. Takes a hard shot into the boards by Gurdon, and it's knocked loose by Gurdon. Henry Ames tried to send it off the boards but didn't get it right. Naughton's pass misses Resnick, and it's going to slide all the way back to the Milton end where it's parked by Ryan Ashburn. Left for Cormac Burke. Burke. Pass disrupted, but does get up to Naughton, who lifts it out to the neutral zone. Scrumming for the puck, and coming out with it is Jace Gungadarin. Gungadarin managed to push it into the attack end, and Greg Aptekman with a chance. Shot blocked by Reed Dexter. Off the boards and out to the neutral zone. Resnick skating with it, disrupted several different ways. Back to the neutral zone where it's taken by Gungadarin, who takes a hard shot from behind as Pukul dumps it into the Brookline end. Parked by O'Connor, left for Katz. Katz ends it up to Aptekman, across to Gungadarin. Gungadarin dumps it in, and it's blocked by Ashburn. And that's going to be a trip call against Brookline. We saw Erdman take a similar hit in the second period, and that sent a Wildcats player to the box. Now it was Marcus Pukul of Milton taking that kind of a hit around the knee. And so it'll be Brookline's Aton Kate going to the penalty box for 2 minutes for tripping. Potential big chance for the Wildcats here on the power play, trailing by 1. Off the face-off, Hinkle pass to Dexter. Dexter down low to Naughton. Naughton back to the point to Hinkle. Hinkle back up to Naughton. Naughton sends a shot through, and it's turned aside by O'Connor. Recovered by Dexter, whips a shot, saved by O'Connor. Naughton controls the rebound around the back, passes it over to Prince. Prince's shot saved by O'Connor, and recovered now by Gurdon. Gurdon slides a long clear. It is taken in the neutral zone by Hinkle as Milton resets. John Sullivan gains the blue line for the Wildcats. Defended by Katz, Dylan Katz lifts it out of the Brookline end. It's parked by Ashburn, left for Hinkle. Hinkle takes off with it. Hinkle gains the blue. Hinkle's shot blocked, recovered by John Sullivan. His shot blocked, and it flies up into the netting. Even with Noah Gurdon starting to lose his balance there, he still managed to keep track of things well enough to get a couple of blocked shots there. Face off, controlled by Pukul, slid across to Carew. Carew's shot blocked by Grady Ames, and that flies up into the netting as well. Still about a minute left on the penalty. Face off the boards. Carew takes it. but he lost control of it, and it's stolen. And now Brookline skating the other way. Grady Ames on the shorthand. Didn't have enough room. But the puck is lost into the corner where it's taken by Erdman. Erdman applying the forward pressure as Brookline makes half a forward line change. Pass now to Carew. Carew gains the blue line. Around the back, it bounces, and Thomas O'Brien whips it around the boards. Blocked at the blue line by Pukal. Pass goes up to Dan Sullivan, now down further. Pass missed. Number 25, Cole Mulhall, tried to send one through, but couldn't find his man. Slid across the blue line, fighting for it. And Resnick up against the boards. And around the back, O'Brien lost it in his skates, but we are back at even strength as Kate comes out of the box. O'Brien sends it up to Gungarin, who swapped out with Kate. Now out of the scrum, a 3-on-2 chance shot. Just missed, slid through the crease wide. Hinkle in the corner. Pinned to the boards, a couple players go flying, and the puck is blown dead. Nine minutes and 12 seconds left in regulation here. And of course, I specify regulation because we are just one goal away from a tie score and the potential of overtime. Can never be too careful. That faceoff slides out to the neutral zone. Rowley sends it across to Burke. Burke's pass finds Hinkle. Hinkle whips it into Brookline's end. Chased down by Gurdon. Gurdon evades a couple of defenders and passes it up to Aptekman. Aptekman slides it across to Gungarin. Gungarin up to Grady Ames across the blue line. Stops, sends a pass through, intercepted by Rowley. Rowley lifts one high for John Sullivan, and now it's a race. Sullivan stops, couldn't get a shot off, lost his footing, tried to send a pass, but it's intercepted by Grady Ames. Off the boards to Gungarin, pass across, deflected into the air, and it's going to be taken by Naughton as Brookline commits to a line change. Naughton gains the blue line. Naughton charging in and disrupted, couldn't get a shot off. Pass goes to the corner, and Young whips it around the boards, and it's taken by Erdman. Erdman dumps it into the Milton end. Around the back, into the Milton end, but it's sent right back out. Whipped right back by Max Guo. Attempted clear, intercepted, charging in, just couldn't get around that last defender, Grady Ames. Naughton, pass, out of reach for Dexter. He's met by Wilson. Wilson disrupts him. Clear is blocked by Resnick, but Wilson recovers the puck, sends it out to the near side to Katz. But stolen back briefly, but then taken again by Katz, slid around for Wilson. Wilson tries to clear, blocked by Pukal. And now a long shot misses high from Mulhall. Recovered now by O'Donoghue, insert wide of the net. Recovered by Wilson, pass ricochets off a skate and is taken by Guo, and a defender slipped and fell. It's a 2-on-1 rush. Guo charging in, shot blocked. It was blocked by O'Donoghue. Not sure if it was a shot or a pass, but a big play by Owen O'Donoghue as he now skates with it. O'Donoghue through the neutral zone, gains the blue. Tried to get through the last defender, but it's covered up by O'Connor. Still 6:29 left here in the third period. Brookline leads Milton 2-1. Brookline trying to hold on to the lead and snap a 7-game losing streak. Off the face-off, it got tangled up in the skates of the official as they continue scrumming for it now. It's sent back to the corner. Wilson misses Gungarin, and it's taken by Burke. Burke's shot was deflected and caught out of the air by O'Connor. Off the face-off, it slides back to Pukul. Pukul sends it around the boards, and Gurdon trying to escape the pressure from Carew, and he does somehow. Pass off the skates, but Ames tried to push it, stopped by Hinkle. Chased down by Carew in the corner. Carew lost his footing. And now it's taken off the boards by Grady Ames. Pass gets away from Aptekman, knocked back by Pukul. Battling for it, Carew. And John Sullivan and Grady Ames and Ryan Wilson. And Ames comes out with it. Pass deflects off the legs of Gungadarin, sent back to the Brookline end by Pukul. But it's taken by Gurdon. Gurdon out to the neutral zone. Slides it forward. It does get to the Milton end, but it's taken by Antonowitz. Now up against the boards. They all scrum for it. Pushed back to the Milton end where it's taken by Hinkle. Pass gets up to Carew. Now a pass to Dexter. Dexter trying to get around the defense. Dexter approaching. Blocked by Katz. Gurdon passes across to Henry Ames. Ames lost the puck, but takes it back as it would have been offsides if Dexter tried to take it. Now this pass intercepted by Resnick, but now stolen by Erdman, slid to the attack end. Rowley and Guo tangle up, but Rowley wins the battle. Rowley skating with it. Rowley through the neutral zone, 3-on-2, gains the blue line. Rowley bringing speed, approaching, gets a pass through, shot, couldn't get the shot off, was too tangled up with the defenseman. Dexter had a golden chance there, but couldn't finish. Almost a golden chance off the backboards for Prince, but it was just knocked aside by O'Brien. Now Burke coming around the back. Burke looking, pass deflects through the slot, nobody there. Resnick recovers, coming around, shot blocked. Now Erdman sends it up to Henry Ames off the block by Dylan Katz. Ames' shot blocked by Rowley. Slides out to the neutral area. Guo lifts it into the Milton end. Downed by Burke. Burke across to Rowley. Young sends it back the other way, but then it's sent back into the Brookline end by Dexter. Milton commits to a line change. Is a hard shot into the boards by Dan Sullivan, who now recovers the puck, slides it towards the net. Now coming around the back, and a diving stop by O'Connor. Brookline doing everything they can to maintain this lead despite several good chances for Milton. And still the score remains 2-1. Battling through the neutral zone, it's taken by Prince. Prince weaving around, try to pass, missed wide. Off the boards, recovered by Dan Sullivan, but this pass stolen. Grady Ames off to the races, battling, Ames shot, saved by Ashburn. Are you having fun yet, folks? What a chaotic third period this has turned out to be. Several great chances for the Wildcats that were either just off the mark or stopped by Jack O'Connor, who is having himself quite the night in net. Around the back, Henry Ames whips it back the other way. Hinkle takes it, couldn't clear it out, but it's recovered by Rowley. Pass across to Burke. Burke skates through the neutral zone, gains the blue, fires, saved by O'Connor. .246 to go. Still a 2-1 Brookline lead. And you have to wonder if Milton is going to call a timeout soon and possibly discuss when to pull the goalie. I mean, they got a face-off in the offensive end. Off the face-off goes back to Burke. Burke spins off a defender. Pass sent back. Rowley shot deflected wide. Hard shot into the boards, and Erdman lifts it out. But this might be going for icing, and it is going to go for icing. 2:26 now left here in the third, as we'll have another Brookline end face-off. And again, with a 1-goal deficit and time winding down, you wonder when Milton might pull their netminder to try and get an extra skater out there and generate a tying goal. Off the face-off. Controlled by Resnick. Pass back to Burke. Burke double-teamed. Pass up. Almost redirected, but couldn't get through the defense. Gurdon's pass misses. Ames. A long slap shot by Burke. Missed well wide. Pass now goes back to Rowley. Rowley long shot. Deflected down. And they tried to push it through, but it was stopped by O'Connor. Great read by Dexter, but a better read by O'Connor to stop him. Naughton tried to whip the shot, but whiffed. Resnick recovers shot. Missed wide. Couldn't be redirected by Dexter. Gurdon in the corner. Lost his footing. Puck's deflected up and over the boards. Just 1:48 left on the clock. Milton still showing no signs of going for an extra skater. And maybe because, now a timeout is called by Milton. Now you know that there's a plan that they're putting in place to pull Ashburn at some point and bring out an extra skater so they can go 6-on-5, turn it into an effective power play, and increase their chances of scoring a game-tying goal. It is buckle down time for the Warriors if they want to try and secure the win and put an end to what has been a frustrating skid for the Warriors. We got a new note in the live chat from Lauren Hirsch, a very simple "Let's go Brookline," as the Warriors out here trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead in the closing minutes of the third period. A pair of goals from Jaskin Goderin and Grady Ames gave Brookline a 2-0 lead, but that lead was cut in half by a goal from Matthew Resnick for Milton. And so here we stand, 2-1, 1:48 on the clock here in the third period. Out of the timeout, they wasted no time. The goal is already empty for Milton. 6-on-5 off the faceoff. Here we go. Off the boards, a long pass gets back. Hinkle's shot almost redirected in. Prince had it, but he couldn't get his stick on it properly. Pass down to Prince in the corner. Prince tries to send one through for Dexter. It's crowded in the slot, and they couldn't get through the crowd. Aptekman clears it out to the neutral zone, controlled by Hinkle. Hinkle lost control of it, poked through by Aptekman, but taken back by Rowley. Milton not done attacking yet as Rowley trying to skate through, trying to spin off. Another player swoops in, tries to poke it in, and Prince got it through! Jack Prince ties it up with 1:13 to go in the third period. Aiden Rowley was doing everything he could to fight through the defense there. Lost control of the puck and was trying to reach for it, but then Jack Prince swooped in, took it around the back, and just barely beat O'Connor's pads to the low corner and managed to jam it in for the game-tying score. We are all tied up at 2 apiece. Off the face-off, Gurdon pushes it into the Milton end. Erdman sends in a shot, blocked by Ashburn and covered up by Ashburn as Gurdon looks to be down hurt. He got the legs taken out from under him. There was no tripping call, although we've seen that call go both ways on similar hits. Oh, wait, did they call it? No, a timeout has been called by Brookline. That's what's happened. 1 minute and 2 seconds left in regulation as we are now tied up at 2 apiece. So it's a whole new game now. A reminder of how this works. If we end regulation and we're still tied, we will play 1 overtime period. And if we can't decide a winner at the end of overtime, then it will be considered a draw. Brookline has already had 2 ties so far this season, while Milton has had 3. And if there is no score for the rest of this third period and then no score for an entire overtime period, both teams will notch another tie on their records. It'll be a face-off in the Milton end. Off the face-off, it's sent back. Gurdon slides it across. Katz, long shot, wide, turned aside by Ashburn. Battling along the boards. Might be killing some clock here. Puck's knocked loose, sent off the boards, blocked by Katz, but pushing through is Prince. Prince lost his footing, and it's taken the other way now by Gurdon. I'm not sure what happened there, but Gurdon's charging in. Shot is high. Recovered by Katz and pushed back around the corner. Gurdon tried to pass, but it was blocked by the skates. Sent to the corner. Gurdon takes it, sends a pass through. Grady Ames whiffed on the shot. Now recovered by Dexter. Dexter's clear, blocked by Henry Ames, whipped around the back. Hinkle takes it. Hinkle skating with it. Hinkle brings it down to the corner, collides with a couple of Brookline players, and that is how regulation is going to end. We're going to have ourselves some extra hockey here at Walter Brown Arena, with the score tied at 2 apiece at the end of regulation. Say that magic word with me, folks. Overtime. So they're going to put, I want to say 5 minutes. I don't actually remember exactly how long the overtime periods are, but they're going to put up however long it is on the clock, and it's going to be 4-on-4 instead of the usual 5-on-5 for the overtime period, which creates more space for players to work with offensively and a greater challenge for the defensive side of the puck. You know, which increases the chance of a potential game-winning goal in overtime. Like I said, if we have a winner at the end of overtime, that will be that. But if we don't have a winner at the end of overtime, then it will be a tie. So I was right. It is 5 minutes that they're putting on the clock. So we'll have 5 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey between Brookline and Milton to see if we can't decide a winner. If we cannot, this will go down as a tie. Here we go. Off the opening puck drop, it's controlled by Gurdon. Gurdon forces it into the Milton end despite taking a shot into the boards. Rowley controls it, but almost lost control of it. Gets a pass up to Dexter. Dexter lifts it high off the boards and into the neutral zone. It's taken by O'Brien. Pass up to Gurdon. Gives it to Grady Ames, who gains the blue. Ames looking, lost the puck, but it goes back to Gurdon. Now up to Erdman. Erdman tried to leave it back, but nobody was there. Instead, it's taken the other way by the Wildcats. Rowley skating. Hinkle coming off with speed. Hinkle just barely couldn't corral the pass. Would have had a golden opportunity there. Instead, O'Brien whips it around for Grady Ames. Ames pass up to Erdman. Slides it across to Gurdon. Gurdon gains the blue. Gurdon trying to fight through multiple defenders as Brookline commits to a bit of a line change. Now a pass slides into open ice. Naughton chasing after it as Katz disrupts him coming off the line change. Now Resnick comes, gains the blue. Resnick fighting through into the corner where he meets Katz, and Katz leaves it for Erdman, who skates out with it. Pass up to Henry Ames. Henry Ames couldn't quite skate through. It's a battle around the blue line taken by Burke. Pass across. Resnick shot saved by O'Connor. Henry Ames corrals the puck. Pass. Now Gurdon slides it out to the neutral zone taken by Burke. Burke leaves it for Naughton. Naughton pass to Resnick. Resnick poke check. Another poke check. Naughton trying to get a shot off but blocked several times by Gurdon. Naughton whips it around the boards, and it's taken by Katz. As Milton makes a line change, Katz skating up with it, dumps it into the Milton end as Brookline makes a line change. A full change, rather, for Brookline as, whoa, a couple players lost their footing there. Pass slides up for Carew. Carew chasing after in the corner, coming around the back, looking. Couldn't get a pass off, disrupted by Wilson, but coming in and forcing a shot that is covered up by O'Connor. That shot from Dan Sullivan. 2:37 on the clock here in overtime. We've had a couple of good scoring chances for Milton, but no score. We are still tied at 2. Off the face-off, it's knocked all the way back to the Milton end. Hinkle rushing back to get it. He missed it, but now he gets it. Hinkle skating with it through the neutral zone. Still going, shot, missed, wide. Recovered by Dexter. Dexter in the corner with it. Pinned to the boards by Wilson, but coming out with it and trying to jam it past O'Connor. Wait a second. Are they saying that went in? No goal. They say no goal. The shot was initially blocked, and they kept trying to push it. But the officials blow the play dead, so it's no goal. So it remains tied, 2:07 on the clock here in overtime. Face-off controlled by Milton, but it's back to the neutral zone, and they have to reset. Hinkle's pass finds Prince. Prince into the corner. Controls it. Pass back. Rowley thought about firing, but decides against it. Gets pinned to the boards by Henry Ames. Prince recovers it. Prince, shot blocked by Katz. Katz whips it off the backboards over to Gungaderin, sends it forward. Gurdon trying to skate with it. It's taken by Dexter, whipped back to the Brookline end, parked by O'Connor, and given to Katz. Katz's pass right to Resnick. Resnick got double deemed quick, and Brookline avoids disaster. Brookline skating it the other way. Gungaderin gains the blue. Gets tangled up, and Resnick takes it back. Slides it around. Katz pushes it back around the other way. Hard collision, but coming out with it is Burke. Burke trying to skate through, lost it. Gungaderin takes it, but he's disrupted by Naughton. Gungaderin tried to send a pass back, but it's intercepted. Now this pass intercepted. Gurdon sends one through. Gungaderin whiffed on the redirect, and Burke clears it out. Stopped by Katz. Katz slides it across to Gurdon in the neutral zone. Gurdon sends it into the Milton end, but it's taken immediately by Resnick. Resnick walled by Gurdon. Grady Ames takes it. Pass skips high, but it is taken by Katz. Katz charging in. Shot, save, potential rebound. Gurdon couldn't get a stick on it. It's recovered instead by Dan Sullivan. Sullivan poked away from behind, and Erdman recovers and sends it out to open ice. Skating forward with it was Naughton. Naughton trying to battle. Naughton recovers it. Naughton looking. Pass deflected. Taken back, Dan Sullivan couldn't get a shot off. Grady Ames takes it, his pass misses. Taken by Rowley, his pass misses into the corner. And that is going to end it. After all that, the score ends in a tie. And you can see from the body language from Brookline, it's a bit of a frustrating tie. They know they were a minute away from getting their first win in weeks. But Milton manages to get the tying score in the last minutes of the third, and a tie is where we end it. The final score here at Walter Brown, the Brookline High Warriors 2, the Milton High Wildcats 2. Goals for today. Brookline got the first score in the first period. Jace Gungadarin assisted by Grady Ames. In the second period, Brookline got a second goal unassisted by Grady Ames on this play all the way back in the second, off a nice shot block and a great breakaway rush. But from there, Milton scored about a minute later on a goal by Matthew Resnick to cut the deficit in half. And Brookline's defense held out for almost the entirety of the third period. But then Jack Prince snuck one into the low corner, assisted by Aiden Rowley, to get the tying score with just over a minute left to play. We went into overtime, and with how well Milton was pushing in that overtime period, Brookline is almost a little lucky to come out of this one with a tie, as they almost lost it in overtime. But they do come out with a tie. So Milton's record moves to 4-6-4 on the year, while Brookline's moves to 3-10-3. Brookline does snap their 7-game losing streak, although I'm sure they would have preferred to snap it with a win rather than a tie. But that's just the way the puck bounces sometimes. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat tonight. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video, where you can find some helpful links. There will be a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club if you would like to support the Brookline High boys hockey program financially. Also a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And then also some links relating to me, which you can also find in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And remember to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Brookline 2, Milton 2. From Walter Brown Arena, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.